There's another angle on storm impacts. Refineries along the eastern coast are putting emergency plans in place as they prepare for Hurricane Sandy. The hurricane could potentially hit 6 East Coast refineries that combined produce more than 1 million barrels of oil per day, which is 7% of the total capacity in the United States. In New York trading, the storm threat has boosted gasoline and heating oil prices. Well, there's good news. Oil markets are watching for any potential disruptions because oil stockpiles in the region are tight, making the East Coast vulnerable to price spikes. Welcome back. We're getting word on evacuations now in parts of Fairfield, Connecticut. We'll have more details as they become available. We're headed to New Jersey right now, where meteorologist Mike Seidel is live in Point Pleasant Beach, New Jersey. And Mike, you were talking with the acting mayor a little bit ago, talking about some changes in evacuation plans.
Yeah, they have made some changes, and you can see tonight we still have some folks out here on the boardwalk. We can still get some ice cream and candy. You guys are going to ride the storm out or head inland? They're all going to ride it out here. Here's the status. Governor Chris Christie, at a press conference earlier today, ordered mandatory evacuations for all the barrier islands, and that wanted that kicked in and underway and done by 4 p.m. Sunday. But then he came back and altered those changes for this area. And just a few minutes ago, we talked to Acting Mayor Christine Tooker. She gave us the latest on the status of the evacuation here in Point Pleasant and Point Pleasant Beach.
We will be doing mandatory evacuations for everywhere east of the tracks, which is the railroad track. It's 4 blocks east, and that will begin tomorrow and hopefully be completed by 4 p.m., as the governor had said. They'll be going door to door, and those who choose to stay will have to sign a release saying that they know that they were supposed to be evacuated.
So what the governor effectively did is gave the home rule back here, and they make their own decisions for these 2 boroughs of New Jersey. So east of the tracks, that again includes this area, mandatory evacuation underway at 4 p.m. on Sunday. Meanwhile, the surge will be the big thing. 4 to 8 feet, likely to be on the top end here because the center of Sandy is going to go into her south. That's going to pile the water up here. And by the way, high tides are the concern. Monday morning's high tide could be the worst. That's somewhere around 8 o'clock, give or take 30 minutes, depending on where you are on the coast. And remember, those back bays and estuaries, the high tide is later than the high tide here on the beach. Let's bring on our hurricane specialist, Dr. Greg Postel. And we're talking surge, we're talking wind. We've got a little bit of everything, Dr. Postel. It's the left turn, that left jab, like Ali, that we've never seen before with a system like this.
That's not a good thing. And this is unlike Irene, which was moving almost parallel to the coast. This is going to take a left turn and move directly inland, very likely, with the center moving into, we think, the New Jersey coast. Let's look at a satellite image and show you what it looks like right now. This is where the center of circulation is, right here about 350 miles east of Jacksonville, continuing to move off toward the northeast. We are starting to see some rain showers and some gusty winds, too, along the Carolina coast, so we can't forget about that. There's some significant impacts occurring along that area, and this does include some winds, too. If you look at some of the wind reports along the region, we're looking at, gusts to 45 miles per hour at Beaufort, North Carolina, with some wave heights offshore here at 20 feet with a sustained wind of 49 miles per hour. So this has a lot of impacts, we think, with the coastal marine impacts affecting the coast. And with that, I'm going to bring in our storm surge specialist and hurricane specialist, Michael Lowry.
Yeah, Greg. So right now the winds are kind of blowing offshore, but as Sandy moves off to the north and east, it will bring easterly flow into North Carolina, which will pile water up on the ocean side of Pamlico Sound. And as we move to Monday, some of those winds will switch to the north west, which will bring surge to the sound side of the Pamlico Sound. Now, the big picture, though, the big story is what's going to happen in the northeast. So as Sandy moves up into parts of the northeast, its winds will also, it has a very large wind field, drive the surge into areas of New Jersey all the way through Long Island, Greg.
Yeah, that's right, and it's really going to be critical regarding the storm surge and exactly how high it gets upon where the center moves onshore. If it does move onshore, say in central Jersey, Michael, we're thinking that the highest storm surge would be just north of that, perhaps Long Island, northern New Jersey, places like that where the water just gets piled in. A little bit less south, but then we got to remember, as the circulation center moves away, there's going to be a northwesterly wind that might bring some storm surge problems here in Delaware Bay, maybe even Chesapeake Bay as well down here.
Yeah, Greg, and this water rise, we're talking about 4 to 8 feet above ground, so that's 4 to 8 feet above where you're standing along the shore. That is a significant amount of surge, and this will be a long duration event. So as to Mike's point here with the tides, it'll be through several tide cycles.
Right, let's send it back to Warren.